Hello,
Hello
together. We are here to the next episode of Fun with Relux. Our today's topic is
staircases. Just staircases today.
Yes, staircases are a very interesting point in the kind of planning. I guess nobody likes them because they are not so easy to handle them, even in all kind of planning, not only in the light planning. And especially in ReLux, it's not so easy. We have a lot of possibilities to create stairways in buildings, in houses, in kind of a light planning, but it needs a little bit to explain how possibilities. There are a lot of possibilities, but we need to show you some of them, and that's the reason why we are here today. This is our topic. It will be mainly presented by Robert today. And
we need to care about staircases. So normally you can say, why ever we should go so deep into this topic, but staircases are an important part of the building because it's heavily used. It's complicated to move through. So we have a bit of a dangerous situation that somebody can fall. So it's for not just for lighting, for all disciplines, as Klaus mentioned. We have a special situation with staircases, and we need to do it correctly in lighting, so that we have the right light on the right spots. And this is sadly just possible with a bit of a geometry effort we need to do in ReLux and in lighting design. We cannot just say, like the rest of the rooms here, we plan just according the usage of the room. Just according the usage of a staircase is not possible out of the box. If you just have a room and call it staircase and just do the evaluation area, the measuring area on the floor or with an offset of the floor, it's not the same as a lighting situation as you have really the staircases. That's why we need to do it. That's why we are showing today how to create a staircase. So we show not just how to evaluate, what kind of values, what kind of standards we have. We're going to show you just one possibility how to create a staircase in ReluxDesktop, that you understand how to do it, especially. And for example, staircases are also relevant for emergency lighting. So you have a staircase is almost in all time also an escape route through a staircase, and you have multiple floors covering this escape route. So this is highly needed to care about staircases if you want to do proper designs and be a proper engineer. Okay, and this topic come up in our Christmas episode. In our Christmas episode, we have a free questionnaire from the real audience, and the staircases pops up a lot in both languages. So we decided to give our first episode by this year to the staircases. So we jump directly into it. To demonstrate how to do it, I start with a really fresh vanilla ReluxDesktop, and we start from the project from the beginning, that you can try to follow what we're going to do. I skip this. I try to be fast so that we can do it in this time, the complete staircase. We do it on the floor, and here I start first one. I start not with one floor after another floor with a piece and segment of the staircase. I do the complete staircase from bottom to top in one room. This is one of the conventions I do. I have here an CAD plan, an AutoCAD DWG file, which helps me to have a ground floor of a staircase, an easy, simple sample file. I'm not sure if it's in real building at all. Here I always recommend to do just 000 in order to have a reference to the origin, just by the way. And it looks like this. And here we have two beautiful staircases. And these staircases are really nice for the designers, for the planners, because here we have and repeating session of steps. It's symmetrical. It's really nice to us. It's not harm us with the different sizes of the steps or different counts of the steps. The steps are the same on all the floors, and yeah, the first thing we have to understand is how to interpret the ground floor. The arrows here, by the way, show the direction for above. So the arrow is always means above. If you have yeah, this is the direction where we go upstairs. This is first important to know. I will just change the yellow into black so that we can see the text a bit better. Yeah, it's always on one layer. This is good. Yeah, and here we can see this is German, sorry. We have 11 raises, steps. Yeah, it's in German it's Steigung. So it's up. So it's these lines. We have 11 of these lines. Anyway, so not the cube, not the rectangle. It's just the line which is in raise of the height. This is one. This is 11 of these raises of the stairs. And here we have the measures. We have here the height of the stair. This is really important to create the stair by knowing the height of one erasing one upper level. This is 17 centimeters, and we have here the width of the steps by 28. So this is something we can see here. Also here we have an overall height. So this podest is 1.8 meters and so on. But yeah, let's go on creating the staircase. This happens by using a simple base object like a cube, and we now design just our first cube, our first step, sorry. So by using a cube, and I do this a bit of precisely, I create the first step as precise as possible. This needs also a height. The height is not 1 meter, it's 0.17 meters.
Like described in the drawing.
Exactly, like we see it here on it. And I also care about the material. So the top face of the step should be like the floor. The bottom face should be like the ceiling. Imagine you look from below to the staircase. And the sides should be act like a wall in terms of the reflection decrease. It was like this, same material. Good. So, and now I also care about the measurement right from the beginning. So what we want to measure on the staircase. This is not so easy to answer.
This is one of the big questions and the big discussions about planning or make light calculation in.
Yeah, I decided to use just a rectangle normal measurement area, but there's not any standard I know which forces you to do this. In Germany, we have one standard, a measurement standard, which tells you one measurement point on each step is enough to evaluate the staircase. But yeah, then we have 1 point in the middle. But I decided here to go for a grid. And here I go I have to do it manually. I not want to have this much evaluation points. I go for 3 in this case. It's really up to you. What are you interesting to see? Let's make 7 by 3 points like this, and then we have this kind of measurement points on each step. You can choose more or less. It's up to you what you are interested in or what you want to evaluate. In Germany, at least, it's 1 point in the middle, but a bit more is a bit more, the reality.
I guess you can use the view and show the grid points.
Yep, this is also possible. Yeah, here you can see the grid points. That's okay for me. We have some points, and we can later decide what you want to go to use to it. Also important is the height. We are at the moment on 75 centimeters. This is too high. I go for 20 centimeters. The stair is 17 centimeters, and I respect the measurement head with 3 centimeters in this case. Of course, you can also go lower or a bit higher. It's really up to you what you can argument. Yeah, in 3D it looks like this, and high staircase room, and here we have our situation with one stair, 1 step, and 1 measuring area for this. And I'm going now to group these 2 friends in a group. And now I have a feature called create group. within 3D row. So we can create out of this group new objects, and this looks like this. It looks always also quite fast, like in stair. And we need the upper direction. This means we need to have here the movement in direction of y, just with a minus, just negative, and then it works. You can also change the height and also in rotation. You can also add here in rotation. Then you can make some spinal stairs, whatever. And you have also the number, the quantity of it, and the quantity at the moment is okay. But I want to include also the podest, the next level, so to speak. So I go here for 11, and we have one more. Okay, so now I break the group again. I don't need it. And I go here for the last one. And this group I will change to a podest. This is better in 2D. Here I move this to this area. Try to do it precisely. And here I do it the extension in this direction, and here in that direction. And don't forget the measuring surface, that you also need to adapt this to the size of the podest. And here we should also think about the grid. I'm going here to change the grid into just automatically. Okay, it's the same. It looks like the same. Okay, by incident, it's not like it was not mentioned, but it's really, it looks like the same. Just one check if it's not a bug. Yeah, it's really like this. Okay, good. And next step is the next evaluation, the next level to above. This I'm going to do in 3D again. And in this situation, I just mark everything. You can also group everything. It's also possible, but I just mark everything. That's enough. And now I hold down the control key on my keyboard. I hold down the control key, and then I just use here the Z coordinate, click once, and make a copy. You can move. You can create a copy by holding down the control key just in the beginning, and then you can move it free around. And yeah, I need to rotate it. I do this in 2D. In 2D, I'm going to rotate the complete parts, and now I'm going to move this part to the right direction. Of course, you can, if you have a bit more time, you can do it a bit more precisely. I just need to care about this gap here, because this is not really precisely. This is precisely enough now, and now we have the first floor reached with our stairs. So if you have also this kind of nice arrangement, it's also easy to just add another floor to it by copy everything, also with the control button, just one level in addition. Now I can also use the shift key to make it a bit more precisely. Enough for demonstration reasons. And now we have 2 floors, and you can imagine this can go up quite fast and easy. And so we have the foundation, the basics created. I also need to have a copy of this podest measuring grid for the first level. This I'm going to do the same, just with the control button. I move down this measuring area just here to the ground. Now I have also this piece of movement area in measurement, and this looks nice to me. What I'm doing now is something also we can discuss. I just break all the groups we have here. I just delete all the groups, break groups. Now it's individually. And what I'm going to do now is I put all the measuring surfaces in one new group. This is my measurement group. We will see what happens with this group in the results, because here I got some kind of a grouped result. We will see in a minute. And now I need to have some luminaires. I need to insert luminaires to this because we talk about light. Here in the ReLux demo, we have here a nice standard luminaire, which I'm going to use, a ceiling diffuse luminaire. But because I know this luminaire and I know this this scene, we need to have a bit of more energy in it. The 1,600 lumens are not enough. We need 2,200 to be in a region where I can call it a good illuminated staircase. Yeah, so it's possible to modify luminaires, but you end up in the output with an with a mark on it. It's marked as modified. So now we need to put the luminaires in it, and I'm starting this also in 2D. I start this in 2D by not creating single ones. I want to have in fields because I know I need 2 of these luminaires. I need to have 2 of them in a row. 2 in 1 row, room orientated, something like this. Yeah, this is needed. I'm not happy about this here. So it should be snapping function is not really nice. But okay, anyway, it's okay. And then need a copy on the other podest. Also using the control button again by making a copy of it here to the lower area. And now I have what I wanted. But here I know I need, of course, more in the lower areas. And here I also going to use the control button again and just put down these 2 luminaires in this region. Here I don't need any lights, and here this luminaires should be also copied to this area here for the first floor and once more for the ground floor. If you do this luminaires right on the first floor, then you can also copy the luminaire together with the stairs to above. And this luminaires we need to lower a bit without a copy, just to have here more lights in it, and we need to suspend it in this area. What I also show to show again this nice copying function is I insert an window. Course to demonstrate that you also can copy in the same way also windows and doors and other elements. All the elements you can copy in this way. Just let's put here a window. Check in 3D. Okay, the window is much too high. Is it the window? Yeah, it's much too high. So let's lower it down. Something like this, and also do again with the control button and copy of it in this area. Good. So let's give it a try with a calculation. I just want to be sure that we not show the selected results automatically. This means if this tick, you get all the single areas in the output, and this is a bit of slow or annoying because you don't need all the detailed outputs. But now we are finished. Let's check first in 3D. Looks like this, and this looks what I wanted to have. We are in the area of 100, 150. This is a nice staircase, at least in Europe. In 12464, we have 100 lux by minimum for one staircase. Of course, you can add more to it. So 150 is also quite common. There was an old 12464 with 150 years ago, I guess. Maybe just for schools. Something else, but this is nice for illumination levels. And yeah, we can also have an overview of the values here with this feature view calculation grid. You can also have pseudo colors on it or isolines, or what I like here is the grid, and here have access to all the values on each single calculation point on the staircase to check if it's okay to you. And minimum is red, by the way, and maximum is green. But of course, we want to check the result output, the result preview. And here we have where we are the overall evaluation area, just to show how this looks. And this is not really useful because this is just here the floor level and is not any information which is useful. Maybe walls and ceiling, depending on the standards you want to use. More interesting for me is the group. Here we have a summary of the group with all the single steps and all the podests together. So all, let's say, the traffic area of the staircase grouped together. And here we have one summary. And we are close to 150 lux, sorry, what I want to have. And we have an overall uniformity of 0.32, which is, we need 0.4 in Europe. So 0.4 we need to reach. It's not perfect. We need to check. And here you can see here the uniformities, the overall uniformities of each single area is quite high. Of course, we have diffuse luminars, we have a white lit space, and here the really worst value is here down below. And the reason is we have, let's say, a group of all the calculation points with all their single values. And we have here the uniformity of the lowest value of all the points of all the surfaces in relation to the average of all the points of the complete mass, which is correct technically. So for me, this is really correct.
Yeah. It's mathematically correct, but yeah. From in the sense of planning of light planning, it is discussable because in the light planning, we are making this for users who are using the staircase, and they will only see just just the stairs from one level to the next. They will never, you will typically not see the complete staircase, the complete house. And so it is a little bit a question of trying to mixing the values of all levels of a staircase. Imagine that you have 10 staircase and you illuminate 4 of them with 200 lux and 4 of them just with 50 lux. So then you will have in parts of your staircase too low values.
Yeah, this is true. This is exactly what is to discuss. How to evaluate. So the question is uniformity. You cannot observe the uniformity also. You can just observe the next couple of stairs, and you cannot see from the top the lowest point. So why we need to have uniformity? Uniformity is that you have a low contrast, that you have it equally illuminated in a way which is nice for the human eye, but it's you cannot observe everything in this situation. It's the same interesting discussion about UGR values in staircases. It's also impossible to observe the complete background area. It's also not really useful to have UGR values in staircases. In staircases in Europe, at least in 12464, we have 25 for UGR requirements. This is quite high, so it's not really an issue clearing. On the other side, you should care about layering in a staircase because you walk through a hazard area, you can fall down and harm yourself. That's why you should, as a lighting designer, care about layering. And here it comes to a nice feature which I love to show since we have it, the real-time rendering. In the real-time rendering, you can observe the staircase. You can also observe it like we have seen it here with the normal ReLux, but just a click away, you have Enscape available, our new real-time rendering, looking like this. And in Enscape with the space bar, you can operate as let's say, a character walking through this. Walking through means you cannot walk through obstacles like walls. You are stick to the wall, and you can walk through it, and you can also fall down. Sorry. And you can walk up and down. And here it's might useful to think about, okay, if I need to place more luminars than this ones, maybe I need to place luminars on the wall, which is quite common in staircases, that you use the wall as a location for luminars. And here you can imagine, okay, I'm walking down and up, and it would be okay to have a luminar here, but maybe in a certain height up to 2 meters, that do not glared or that do not be directly impacted by the luminar. The same if you walking down or up the stairs, and check the walls. So if you check, for example, this wall, if you walk through this wall, it would be not nice to have a lumina in 1.60 meter high in this area where you're staring on it by walking down in the light output where you are getting glared. So it's hard to say if it's 25 for UGR, but you should think about the observer, think about the user of the staircase. And here with this real-time rendering, you can literally go through it and check if there are any potential glaring objects or bad reflections here. I don't know. So this is nice. And of course, it's an discussion what types we should take in for this calculation. The nice thing on ReLux is you can decide, you can put in your group. So I just make a group of everything. This means if I have 0.4 and all the single cases are fine, that I have a good feeling that everything is covered. I don't care where you are located and what you're looking at. It's fine overall. So the worst case in a way. But of course, if you just if you have an issue because your floors have really different heights, then you can you can have a group, or you can create a group not with everything. You can just create a group with two stairways and one podest or two podests, and make just a part of it, which you can observe in a way and make your own group, or you can make it both in a way and compare, or make it just points in a group. You can also group points and have an value of all the points together in one group. So this is something you decide what you want to measure in a way. The tool is there to have it all, and you decide what you want to evaluate and what you want to discuss with your client in terms of lighting. Yeah.
Yes, this morning we learned that in the German railway, they have now a more precise rule. They say you have to check each step.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to check the complete summaries. You have to check each step, and each step must be in the range. So that is required by the Deutsche Bahn,
by the German railway. What is also possible if you do not want to copy single steps, it's also not so far away if you make just an tilted large block as staircase replacement. This is possible. This is from the results not so far away as from single steps. Keep in mind, if you rotate and block, and if you rotate a measuring area, that you measure the light from above. You can see it here on this tiny red vectors. This indicates the direction of the measurement, which should come from above and not angled with the measuring area.
In the case of a rotated measuring surface, you can choose both kind of calculations in the direction of the normal direction, also
the normal vector
to the normal
pendicular
direction, or in the for the horizontal illuminance from above.
Yeah, just keep in mind, it's better than nothing. If you do nothing, not just tilted blocks, then I call it the Flintstone method of staircases. So like in the Flintstone time, that you just make slope blocks moving up. It's not so bad from the result point of view. There are a difference of just a couple % in relation to wheel steps. But what you cannot do is just leave it away and just make the evaluation area and say, okay, 100 lux in the evaluation area. This is not possible. Even the luminar positioning is not really possible if you're not going in height in 3D. It's not possible to evaluate. We're talking that it's just one method to do it. I really like this method and I can recommend it. If you have a bit of training, this is really fast and you can adapt one floor to another by moving around the stairs from bottom to top. This works well. There's a good experience in it. But there's also an option to have, for example, an side view and plane view with the staircase, and then to create an polygonal extrusion volume in ReLux that you can just make the polygon of the base area and then extrude it to the width of the stairs. This is also a common method if you have inside pane view on it. Also possible if we have on ReluxNet also a couple of 3D models of stairs which you can use, but in reality it's not really matching the reality. Then you have really good luck if you have the same situation like we have in the 3D model as an example. You can try to cut, erase, bend, and extend and transform the existing 3D models to your steps, but it's really hard. So in just the replacement of blocks, at least for me, was the most efficient method. It's also possible to using BIM models. So if you have a Revit model, then Revit into Relux is a common way. Also IFC to Revit to Relux is also a common way. We have also an enriched capabilities of 3D import. If you have in 3ds, an OBJ, an FBX, and Collada model, whatever in 3D, you can import it also into Relux. And at least you have the geometry, not the measuring areas. Measuring area you have to do yourself, but at least you have the 3D modeling done by a 3D model out of any other software where somebody else has modeled the staircase. And there's also a new method which we like to promote. It's our new partnership with the phone scan colleagues from Austria called AMRAX. It's also possible to scan with the phone staircases by the software AMRAX, and then to have this scanned staircase from bottom to top, also in a 3D model with meta room, and also then imported into Relux by this interface. I'm not tried by myself the AMRAX interface, but the guys told me this should work quite well, and I have to try it myself. But this can also be a big relief just to scan the stuff and to have it right in Relux. Also in this case, you have to model the measuring area, or what also if you are too lazy to have the measuring areas, which is also a method which you can use, is just this false color sync. If it's just for you to evaluate and you need not the values in a certain way, this false color view tells me that this is right. This is uniform enough, this is bright enough, you can identify it in false colors quite easy. Where are the tricky parts? If it's just for you, for your self-evaluation or for your team, this is also a good point. In fast evaluation, just 3D model in Luminas you need, and then you can see what happens. Measuring areas is then a precise documentation of the values. This is not good documentation, just colors. Okay. Yeah, I guess this was all what we can tell about
the also a little bit late, I guess.
Yeah, we need to go into the questions. Yeah,
let's take a look at the.
Let's see if there are any questions to it. Questions. And make this a bit smaller, this a bit larger. Okay, there are not so many questions, but there are a couple. Is in the future possible to integrate energy calculation payback in the same software so that we can send us entire documentation to client? We already have a couple of energy evaluations. It's depending what you want to have. Yeah, it's on the roadmap to have more energy evaluations in ReluxDesktop. The existing ones are a bit, let's say, old-fashioned in visualization, but also in terms of math behind. And they're coming a lot of more ISO standards for energy evaluation, which we're going to implement hopefully by this year. So yeah, let's stay tuned about energy evaluation. But of course, it's a big topic, and it's really important, and it raises in importance. How would you model a staircase that goes between two open plane floors? Open plane floors. What is an open plane floor? Two open plane floors in the middle of something. You can okay. You have to. you can okay. We can also do it room by room. If we have both of them created with the stairs in it, but you have to be aware if there is no ceiling, it's maybe blocks the light out of it. You can do a three. You can do the rooms and then the staircase separately in a separate room. If there is not any reflection or wall, then just make it black. Then you have not an interaction with a black wall to it. What would you do, Klaus?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I understand the question correctly.
Yes,
Maybe
a large room and there's a stair in the middle. So you have two open offices or something. I imagine this.
Okay. Yeah, maybe the question goes in the direction that when you have several floors, so then you will have only the staircases only on the lowest level floor, which is a higher room height than the rest of the floors, and on the other floors you will typically not necessarily have a staircase. It's a little bit, this is one of the big problems when you are working with staircases. You have this also in CAD drawings or something like this. Yeah. Or when you import it from Revit in our plugin. So this is one of the critical point to import the rooms from one floor into ReLux is no problem, but the staircases, because they have relation to all floors, that's a little bit tricky.
Yeah. Can I import a SketchUp model into ReLux, and how to do it? Does it have to be imported into AutoCAD first?
No, we have since the last or since our newest versions, we have the possibility also to import many more 3D models. For example, FBX, OBJ, Collada, and these are all formats which are also SketchUp is possible to export 3D models in this format. We cannot directly read the SketchUp format, but with SketchUp you can export your 3D models in various formats. And this includes FBX and it includes OBJ and Collada, and you can use one of them and then import them directly into ReLux.
Yeah, the LN means the open plan office. I guess really large office spaces with an intersection staircase in the middle, so that you can from one open space office go to another, which is on top by a staircase in the middle of it.
You can, if you want, you can simulate this by a complete room height, and then use a cube or something like that with a hole in it as the first floor. So this is also possible. This is a kind of building. You must take care that in this case you have also to make manually your evaluation areas for the grounds twice and so. But this is in general, this is also possible.
Also better looking in real-time rendering if you make everything in one scenery.
Yeah.
Good. Will this be available to watch again afterwards?
Yes.
Every episode is in hours to be seen on YouTube. Check it again and again. Is there a quick way to add emergency lighting calculations? Yes, of course. It's not in the presentation, but it's quite easy then to add emergency evaluations. But yeah, okay, would be not afterwards. You need to know you want to have emergency, and then to add also a measurement area for this purpose directly on the start.
And one a little bit of open point is the escape route on
escape route is because
not easy. This is not. I guess for that we should think about for the future to a tool which will.
I'm also not sure what you need in terms of escape route.
But the escape route is just defined by a middle line. But the special thing is that the lowest value you should never fall under 1 lux. So if you transport this to staircases, then you should have one, or maybe we can discuss more points in the middle of the. But it don't make sense to put for each step its own escape route on it, that will make it a little bit difficult to handle it. So it might be possible that we have a group of measuring points which going down the stairs. So, but this measuring object actually is not existing.
Yeah, it's also not so easy for user interface. Think about the camera path for animations. You have to add a lot of points, which is not easy to adjust, and so yeah, it's not easy. Maybe this will be better with Revit, because we having now available emergency lighting in Revit, which you have also staircases, and there are a bit of more modern escape route tools to use it. It's maybe in hope, not really more. today it's you have to put manually all these points together in a staircase. Okay, but interesting question. Will we get access to the recording? Missed the part where we made group of the first. Yeah, of course, it's just be available on YouTube soon, maybe today. Yeah.
Thank you for the present.
Thank you for the presentation. I'm beginner ReLux, and I want to ask maybe to have to record presentation to work in ReLux. Yeah, again, check our YouTube channel. Yeah.
Yes, for a beginner, you will also find on our when you go to ReluxDesktop, there you will find a lot of tutorial videos about how to handle ReLux in general. So take a look on there and use this.
Yeah. Okay. This was all the questions. We are good in time. Yeah. So
next episode, special next episode is we have a guest here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are talking about emergency lighting, so then we are back at that point. But emergency lighting with our plugin ReLux Cut for Revit. Our guest Matthias will have a lot of new features in the plugin for ReLux Cut for Revit, and where you can make really easy and emergency lighting direct in Revit. I guess this is also very interesting for you.
And yeah, this will happen on the 29th of February. So end of February in 1 month, also Thursday again, 14 hours in Central Europe. You will see this episode. And yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying tuned with this interesting technical topic. Hope it was worth to check it. And yeah, see you next time, next episode. Bye.
Bye.